Thanks for joining us on the CBN News Channel. I'm Charlene Israel.
And I'm Evin Graham. Congressional hearings today on the scandal involving the IRS treatment of conservative groups. Lawmakers seeking answers to the question, who's responsible? And also, why weren't they told? In a new twist, the scandal is now linked to Obamacare. A tough day of questions for former IRS Commissioner Stephen Miller. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle showing determination to get to the bottom of the scandal that targeted conservative groups with invasive questioning and audits, and why the agency kept quiet about it, despite questions from Congress.
Somebody made a decision to do this, and I doubt that it were some low-level employees in the Cincinnati field office. The president continues to do damage control. In a soggy Rose Garden press conference, he said those responsible will be held accountable.
My main concern is fixing a problem. I'm looking forward to working with Congress to fully investigate what happened.
But some conservatives blame the president and other leading Democrats for constantly attacking the Tea Party and other conservative groups. Wall Street writer Kimberly Strassel says the IRS simply followed the lead of the president. The tone is set from the top. And a new concern. Republicans are linking the IRS scandal to the implementation of Obamacare. The IRS is tasked with administering the tax breaks and credits included in the health care bill.
The power to tax is the power to destroy.
The IRS official in charge of tax-exempt organizations during the Tea Party targeting now runs the office in charge of Obamacare. Republicans stressing that the IRS should have no role in Americans' health care. Another Christian ministry says it has been the subject of biased treatment from the IRS. Religious broadcaster James Dobson says it happened when his Family Talk Action Corporation applied for tax-exempt status. Family Talk's Dr. Meg Meeker says the IRS sat on the application and said the organization was, quote, not educational and did not present all views. Family Talk now has this tax exemption status designation, but it came after a threat of litigation.
Massive cleanup is underway in Texas after a swarm of 16 tornadoes ripped through the state. Search and rescue crews continue to search for survivors in the debris. Entire neighborhoods are still cordoned off as rescue teams and police with cadaver dogs do their work. The storms battered the region Wednesday, turning homes into rubble. The devastation is spread across 4 counties near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Granbury, located about 40 miles southwest of Fort Worth, bore the brunt of the damage. Survivors are telling stories of shock and horror as 200-mile-an-hour winds tore through their town. Dylan Grisham hid in a bathroom with his grandma and made it out alive.
The door, just shaking really bad.
There's supposed to be houses right here and on this corner and further down there, and there's nothing.
At least 6 people are dead and several are still missing. Meanwhile, several churches have also opened their doors as Red Cross shelters for tornado victims and their families.
CBN's Operation Blessing is on the ground in Granbury. Operation Blessing's U.S. Director Jody Geddes and her team arrived in the area just hours after the deadly storms. They're laying the groundwork with local pastors and government officials, mapping out the most affected areas and the greatest needs.
Operation Blessing is here partnering with local churches, Generation Church. We've been meeting with local officials and local agencies, seeing how we can coordinate armies of volunteers to come in here and help people rebuild their lives, clean up their properties, and most importantly, so we can pray with them and encourage them and let them know that they are not alone after such tragedy.
Operation Blessing's mobile command center and trucks full of construction supplies are on their way as well.
An Uzbekistan national is facing terrorism charges today in Idaho. Federal agents arrested Fazlidin Kurbanov Thursday in Boise. A federal grand jury has already indicted him for allegedly providing support and resources to the Islamic movement of Uzbekistan. Authorities say Kurbanov was involved in terrorist activities in Idaho and Utah. He's accused of distributing information about explosives, bombs, and weapons of mass destruction. And investigators say he possessed a destructive device during November of last year. Kurbanov is a U.S. citizen.
Reports have been surfacing for months. The Department of Homeland Security is stockpiling ammunition. Well, now that has sparked a congressional investigation. Jennifer Wishon explains.
The Government Accountability Office is now poring over records at the Department of Homeland Security. The congressional watchdog wants to know how the department purchases, keeps track of, and stores ammunition.
It is entirely inexplicable why the Department of Homeland Security needs so much ammunition.
Congressman Chaffetz says constituents called his office after reports surfaced that DHS, an agency that operates only on U.S. soil, was obtaining billions of rounds of bullets. That as retailers from major chains to small mom-and-pop gun stores struggled to put ammunition on their shelves. Last year, the U.S. Army bought 347 rounds of ammo for each soldier. In contrast, Homeland Security had 1,000 rounds for each of its agents.
So how many times, for instance, the Homeland Security last year have to actually shoot and fire a weapon?
ICE had 15 shooting incidents last year.
Less than 100 rounds?
Less than 100 rounds, yes, sir.
Homeland Security officials say they have no idea where reports of contracts for billions of bullets came from.
You don't have a purchase order open to be able to purchase up to $1 billion+ rounds over the next 5 years?
I believe, Mr. Chairman, there are several contracts for ammunition.
I'm just looking for a number.
The answer is a little complicated because
I know. I just want a number.
NAAC eventually concluded his agency has 750 million rounds for 70,000 pistol-carrying agents. That includes nearly 2 years of ammunition in storage in case officials say they ever have problems ordering what they need. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan says what Homeland Security has is a credibility problem.
You guys are obviously familiar with what took place at ICE, where 6 weeks ago, 2,228 illegal detainees were released. 647 of them were criminals. 8 of them were level 1 felons. And now the American public sees that.
Some Americans were also uneasy when pictures of armored vehicles known as MRAPs started surfacing on U.S. soil. These are vehicles designed to protect U.S. troops from IEDs on the battlefield.
I'm very concerned about it. Why do you need all this protection? Are you about to force something on the American people you know they're going to get upset about?
Homeland Security officials say the department has 30 MRAPs and agents are using them.
We use them for special operations, for officer rescue. In fact, one last year was extremely beneficial for us in a situation where it protected our officers from gunfire.
Some Democrats call concerns over the stockpiling of weapons and presence of military vehicles conspiracy theories, but they're enough to make Congress act. The audit of Homeland Security will take several months to complete. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Washington.
CIA Chief John Brennan has made an unannounced visit to Israel. According to an anonymous Israeli defense official, Brennan met with Israel's defense minister. This trip comes amid concerns about weapons transfers from Syria to Lebanon's militant Hezbollah. Israel has carried out airstrikes aimed at halting arms shipments to Hezbollah. This week, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also traveled to Russia to persuade Moscow not to sell an air defense system to Syria.
Coming out, the new Star Trek film hits theaters this weekend. Our movie reviewer has the first glimpse and how it scores on his family-friendly scale.
Today we're on a field trip to discover what inflation is doing to our paper money. In this hand is a $20 bill, and in this hand is a $20 U.S. gold coin. They used to have the same buying power, but how much can they buy today? In this first basket is what my $20 bill buys: milk, bread, peanut butter, and jelly. And here's what one $20 gold coin will buy: 6 baskets full, worth nearly $2,000, almost 100 times more food, simply by owning gold dollars instead of paper dollars. History shows that the gold coins have been the best way to beat the rising cost of living. So class, the moral is that unless you want to live on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the future, you should turn some paper dollars into gold coins now. How and why is explained in a new book, The Great Debasement. Call the number below for a totally free copy. And that's the simple truth.
Help! If an emergency happened right now, you can have help at the push of a button with Medical Alert.
Remember when I took that fall, Mary? Oh, yes, that was terrible. Yes, it was. Help! And I thought, what if you hadn't been there? I ordered my Medical Alert the next day.
I can't describe how safe I feel now with my medical alert. You didn't know I was wearing it, did you?
Medical Alert is easy to install, waterproof, and covers you inside your home and out.
It helps me feel safe from fires, break-ins.
And of course, a medical alert. And if you don't have a home phone, don't worry. They have that covered.
There's always help at the push of a button. Don't wait till you need it.
Get Medical Alert for less than $1 a day. There are no long-term contracts. Order now and get your second button free. Call for your free brochure.
For your free medical alert system with second button free, call 800-575-8507.
From CBN.
Broken Eardrum is playing at the Civic tonight.
And you'll just have to miss it.
This is so incredibly unfair.
A special story of love and sacrifice.
Joy, Mom comes up with something.
Christopher Quantum, you and I are going to discuss your attitude right this minute. Superbook.
No.
Join the Superbook DVD Club and get Superbook's newest episode, He is Risen. Plus 2 copies to share with others. All for your gift of $25.
They have arrested Jesus, the Messiah. Do you not know that I have the power to crucify you?
No! Please! You can't! They've taken him to Golgotha. We must hurry. Mary is about to lose her son. The worst thing any mother could face. I am not leaving her.
Superbook. It's an amazing way to build a strong spiritual foundation in the children you love.
Mary, who are you looking for?
I've seen him! He is alive!
Superbook. He is Risen. Available now.
Are you looking for something to watch at the theater this weekend? Here with this week's movie review is Bob Waliszewski. He's the director of Focus on the Family's entertainment review department called Plugged In Online. Well, Bob, you've got just one movie to talk about this week. What is your take on Star Trek?
It's called Star Trek Into Darkness. It's rated PG-13. It's a prequel, if you will, to the original TV show. So you've got Captain Kirk, and you've got Spock, and Scotty, and McCoy, the whole gang. The film opens with Captain James T. Kirk breaking the Prime Directive, which to Star Trek fans is the rule that says you can't interfere with an alien planet and mess up something. Well, he does. He breaks that rule. He does it to save one of his own team, but he's demoted in the process. Well, the next thing you know, a villain, a bad guy, is after all the captains for the Starfleet. He kills a whole bunch of them. Of course, doesn't kill Kirk, and then Kirk is put back into promotion and after this bad guy. That's the plot in a nutshell. And in many ways, this film came across to me as a mixed bag. More so than Iron Man 3 just a couple weeks ago, this film had some great, great messages about courage, about bravery, about self-sacrifice, not only the willingness to sacrifice, but the actual taking a step to give one's life very Christ-like, in a sense, for other people, which you have to commend. But it wasn't a perfect film, and in many ways, the body count is incredibly high, in a few places bloody, couple wince-inducing. The language can be explosive on a few fronts, and there is one adult, inappropriate type scene that, like with Iron Man 3, there was one in that one as well, that you kind of go, did we really need that? Especially for a film that will definitely attract a lot of young boys and girls. And I gave this one a 2.5 out of 5 for family friendliness, and really wrestled with this because I liked so much of its messages that I wanted to give it more of a pass. But I think families deserve to know that there are some nuggets. It's not pervasive, but there's some nuggets, some elements, negative elements in that film that just keep it from getting a strong family-friendly rating.
Gotcha. Something to watch out for. Well, 42, the story of the great Jackie Robinson, is still going strong. Are you surprised?
Still growing strong. Number 5 last week in the total box office take over the weekend. Made $85 million so far, heading toward that $100 million mark. And it is a family-friendly movie. So if folks haven't seen that one and looking for something, I'm going to say there's one to possibly see. Another one is home. There's 2 faith-based films. They've been in a little bit of a limited release situation, but both of them are actually expanding in some new markets today, this Friday. So people who haven't seen Not Today, a film on human trafficking, not a documentary, but a story, really, really good. I love the call to action in this film. And another one, a baseball film dealing with addictions, Home Run. So 42, Home Run, and Not Today. Check out any of those three films. You'll be glad you did.
Ending on a good note. Thank you, Bob.
You bet.
Up next, they spent months in an Iranian prison. We'll tell you how these two Christian women survived that ordeal and are spreading a message of hope.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
The story of imprisoned pastor Saeed Abedini is focusing attention on the treatment of Christians in Iran. Now, two Iranian women are telling their persecution story.
That's right. Miriam Ross Tampur had come home from a dentist appointment and was resting on her couch when her doorbell rang. When she opened the door, her life and the life of her roommate changed forever. Wendy Griffith asked them about it.
Take us back to March 2009 when your doorbell rang. What happened?
I looked through the people and I saw Marzieh with 3 guards. My mind was in shock. I just opened the door and they entered our apartment. They ransacked everywhere and they took both of us with all our belongings, like Bibles, books, Jesus movies, and everything that they had discovered in our apartment. And they transferred us to the security police.
For first day and especially the first week was so difficult for both of us because we were so scared, and they threatened us to physical torture. They told us that we will beat you until you vomit blood.
They sent both of us to a very small and dark and dirty cell in the basement, and every minute we were waiting for them to come and to take us for the physical torture. At that day, we just hugged each other. We said goodbye. We were thinking that it was our last day on earth.
You both could have been released at any time if you denied your faith. Why didn't you?
We are in love with Jesus, and we couldn't deny our faith. And also, because Jesus in the Bible says that if you wish to follow me, you must pick up your own cross and follow me. And so as a follower of Jesus, it was very important for us to pass through this test with victory. And also, it was an honor for both of us to suffer for our faith.
For 2 weeks, you were in detention, both of you, and then you were moved to the notorious Evin Prison. What were the conditions like?
It's awful in Evin Prison. For the first 14 days, we didn't have anything to eat, and even in public prison, we could eat just the bread and cheese that they gave to prisoners for breakfast, and that was all we could eat. And I was poisoned once because of the food. And, you know, the medical situation was even worse. There was just a small and dirty clinic, and we couldn't visit the doctor. For 9 months, we were both sick.
How did your faith help you keep your sanity while you were in prison?
Sometimes we couldn't pray in Farsi, our language. We couldn't find words because, you know, that situation is really scary, and our mind was in shock. And in those moments, we were just praying in tongues for each other. For example, when they took Marzia for interrogations, I was praying for her, and she did the same thing for me. And the Holy Spirit really led us in our prayers when we were praying in tongues.
We have many experience with Jesus. We had met him, touched his love, and had seen many miracles. And our personal relationship was very important.
You know, we both believe that Evin is really the hard and brute manifestation of the power of the Ayatollahs, and is really the symbol of their dominance and strength over Iran. This prison is notorious for arresting, torturing, raping, and executing of many innocents.
Some of my friends, before I got arrested, they told me, Marzia, you know about Iranian prison and Iranian government. If they rape you in prison, if they torture you, what you will do? And I always, you know, I trust God, and I always told them that I'm sure that God will protect us, but if it happened, I'm sure that God has a reason for this.
At first, you all prayed to be released, but then your prayer changed. What happened? We had many great opportunity to talk with many prisoners, and there were many prostitutes, addicted people, and they were, most of them, they were so hopeless, sad, and disappointed. We had to pray and ask God to show us the right person to talk to them. But in that prison, we had more opportunity to talk about Jesus with many women, and also about prostitutes. It was very difficult to find prostitutes in Iran because they are not in a specific place. But when we were in a prison, we find out that there are many prostitutes here, even madams. And we had a great opportunity to talk to them and pray with them. And some of them, they cry and they confess their sins. And it was really like a church for us. And every time, every day we gather and pray, and it was wonderful. Wow. No wonder they released you.
Yeah.
We got to get these girls out of here, right?
We were more free in prison to talk about Jesus.
What a wonderful testimony. They were in love with Jesus.
Jesus will give you freedom in prison.
In prison.
In prison.
Amen.
What a wonderful
Praise
testimony. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
When you're driving along and your cell phone rings, do your eyes instantly go off the road? Then you need to get a grip. Hi, David Jones here with the new GripGo, the most versatile hands-free mount that will instantly grip any phone for safe driving. Just attach the suction cup to your windshield or dash, and GripGo grabs your phone ultra fast. Then it peels right off. And don't worry, there's no sticky residue left behind. The 360-degree pivoting mount allows you to always get the perfect viewing angle. It's even strong enough to grab and hold this expensive smartphone out the window. Yet it comes right off with ease. That's the advantage of GripGo. You can get the amazing GripGo with dashboard mount for only $14.95. We'll send you a second kit free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Get 2 complete GripGo systems for just $14.95.
To order GripGo for $14.95 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-709-5259 or order online at getgripgo.com.
Jim is 38, mortgage, married, 3 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. Jim can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $19 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll comparison shop the pick of insurance companies like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. Jim's wife, Deidre, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Gabriel is one of the most famous angels in the Bible. Now a new exhibit in Jerusalem highlights an archaeological find that quotes the messenger angel.
That's right. It's considered the most important discovery of its kind since the Dead Sea Scrolls. CBN Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell has that story.
It's called the Revelation of Gabriel. It's written on stone by one who proclaims 3 times, "I am Gabriel," just as the angel told Zechariah in the 1st chapter of Luke.
To the best of my knowledge, these are the only 2 instances in ancient Jewish and Christian literature that you have such an expression, "I am Gabriel."
The tablet is considered by some scholars to be a Dead Sea Scroll on stone. It's written in 2 columns in ink, and the style of writing, the script, is the same as the Dead Sea Scrolls themselves. Some believe it was found near the Dead Sea, but no one knows for sure, because an art collector purchased the stone from an antiquities dealer in 2000. Museum curator Adolfo Reutman says experts believe it's authentic.
It's very clear that this stone was written in time of Herod the Great, even though the fact that angels are many times mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, only in the book of Daniel, 2 angels are mentioned by names, Gabriel and Michael, the same 2 angels mentioned in the stone.
There are 87 lines of text on the stone, but only about 40% is legible, so the meaning is obscured.
To the best of my knowledge, at least 5 different readings were proposed for the riddle of this stone.
However, all agree the message refers to an attack on Jerusalem and the hope of God's deliverance. At line 80, there's a reference to 3 days, which originally some thought referred to the resurrection. Now they believe it refers to a sign.
Gabriel plays such a key role in a strategic and dramatic scene as is the Gospel of Luke chapter 1, in which he reveals to Zechariah and to Mary.
This is the first time the stone is on display in Israel.
And it's a small exhibition of 1 stone and 6 manuscripts, which of course relate to the emergence of Gabriel as an important prophetic figure and his recurrence time and again in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic biblical literature.
Israel Museum Director James Snyder says the display complements another exhibition, 30 tons worth of material relating to King Herod.
It allows us to look at a singular period of time during which Herod was building the earthly Jerusalem. And the text of the Gabriel Revelation stone relates to the slightly later moment of angst that begins to reflect on destruction and redemption and on the heavenly Jerusalem.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, the Israel Museum, Jerusalem.
Wonderful story.
I tell you, I just love to see the Bible continuously come to life.
Come to life. It's alive. Well, that's all for now on the CBN News channel. Tell us what you think about the stories you've seen today on CBNNews.com.
You can do that on Facebook as well as Twitter. Hope you join us again right here next time. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. all the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.